How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a little bit of Homebrew Wednesday, a little bit of homebrew side by side, courtesy of my boy Carson, and that would be his rye saison. We have one over here, which is Cashmere dry hopped, and we have one over here, which is Sorachi Ace dry hopped. So he sent me both of these. I typically don't do side by sides of homebrew, but I mean they're literally the same beer with different hop additions. So I thought it'd be fun. I really dig the homebrew that Carson sends off. He's doing a pretty killer job of it. So I'm kind of excited to see what's what. Let's dive into these puppies. So you're talking about over here in Cashmere. You're talking about, it's actually Sorachi Ace and Cashmere. I wouldn't say are very overtly different hops. I mean, your Sorachi Ace and Cashmere are going to lean into the lemon kind of variety as far as flavoring goes, but over here typically you're going to deal with a little bit more bitterness. Over here you're going to kind of lean a little bit more into kind of tropical fruit territory. We're going to see what's what. I mean, they look almost exactly the same. Over here a little bit darker maybe, if you guys could see. My camera's fucking set up wrong anyway, but yeah, I mean, they look exactly the same. What am I saying there? So let's just dive into the Sorachi first, right? Sorachi over here, right? Go Cashmere, god damn it. Cashmere first. I'm not getting a ton of much of anything. I'm getting a soft little rye, a little bit of the tropical fruit, done and done. Really not all that impactful. 4.3%. Not that you're expecting a huge pop off of that beer, but you are talking about a saison with rye, so you expected a bit more of a kind of yeast phenolic in there. That rye coming ahead in those dry hopped Cashmere hops, but I'm just getting very soft. Nothing too overt over here. Smells nice. But I wouldn't say, if it was blind, I wouldn't say it was the saison based off the nose. Let's actually see what the Sorachi has. Yeah, way more lemony profile over here. Very, not a 2x4 to the face. We're still dealing in kind of small, minimal kind of things here, but it's so readily apparent that the Sorachi is infinitely more kind of showy over on this side. Still a gentle beer, though. Nothing too overtly, like I said, 2x4 to the face. Smells soft. Again, not really getting Saison vibes off of it. We'll see what's what. Let's dive into the Cashmere. Okay. The rye definitely coming ahead in the taste. Behind that, you actually get a little bit of a crackery kind of malt thing, which is kind of fun. The hops come into play. Soft little melon characteristic. A little bit of bittering that's relatively generic. It's kind of merging with that rye. Kind of propping up that rye a little bit, make it a little bit more rye spiciness. Nice soft carbonation on it. Still, yeah, it's a saison, but it's like, okay, it's more of a generic kind of saison more than anything else. There's really not a huge expression from the yeast on this side of things. Tasty, nice, well made, nothing negative. Very soft. Again, 4.3%. You're not expecting a huge beer here. Sometimes low ABV saisons can show, but that usually happens in a more kind of tart, core funky kind of route, and that's not where this one goes. It's a very kind of safe, very neutral kind of saison yeast. I assume he went that route to let the rye and let the hop show, and while they're both present, you know, it's not overtly large, but you wouldn't expect that at 4.3%. Anyway, let's dive into the Sorachi. Yeah, I mean, it is very, very close. You're just getting a big, much larger lemon characteristic over here. The rye spiciness is the same. This might actually come off a little bit less bittering, which is kind of odd, because I would assume it would be a little bit more bittering because Sorachi Ace is a little bit more of a bittering hop. This one comes off a little bit more bitter, but the rye's on the same level, but the rye's maybe a tad behind over here because that bitterness props up that rye, and then it's more kind of soft melon characteristics, where over here you're definitely getting the soft lemon character. Again, the yeast on this is not really showing from a saison standpoint, but they're really tasty beers. I mean, listen, it is 88 degrees today. It is like 100% humidity. I am sweating my face off. These are hitting the spot, so it's kind of the perfect beer for this kind of setting. So it works in that case. But as far as one of the better homebrews I've had as of late, it's worthy of being in that conversation. But some of the stuff that Carson has sent off, even from a Saison standpoint, has done me a little bit better than these two. Again, dude, this is not like it's so it's weird because it's not that these are bad beers. Is that the other ones that you sent me I was quite impressed with, and these, not that they're negative because there's no off flavor. They're made really well. The carbonation's on point. They're a little bit safe. That would be my biggest kind of criticism of them, is they taste a little bit too safe for me. I would like a little bit more of a rye spiciness. Not much. I don't want that 2x4 to face. I want the yeast to show a little bit more kind of Saison characteristic, and even from the hop, just dial everything up. Not from a 3 to a 10, from a 3 to a 5. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more volume at all facets of each of these beers, I think, would do them proper. But in the grand scheme of things, it's hot, it's tasty, and that works for me. It's a good combination. So let's do the little homebrew cuvee and see where this one lands. Cheers. See, that kind of works for me because everything is just a little bit, not even, so I said go 3 to 5, 3 to 6. This is like 3 to 4. You know, as far the rye is a little bit more. I know it's the same beer. There's no addition of the rye, but I think the combination of the hop and a little bit of bitterness over here, a little bit of lemon over here, and then that fruitiness, everything, it just seems a little bit more elevated. The yeast is still not showing much, but together it's a nice, fun little combination. So there you go. Little homebrew Wednesday in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much again, Carson, for sending these off. Want to send me homebrew? You're more than welcome. Matt at massivebeers.com or massivebeers@gmail.com. They all go to the same place. Let's see. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. Or no, that's podcasting stuff. Massive Beers is the social media stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the homebrew review. Hopefully you're enjoying some homebrew right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.